very, you know, anarchic and different when I, originally saw it, and now it's just like, yeah, whatever. I don't know. I don't know. I can't put my finger on why it doesn't hit me the same way it does.
But it's not bad.
It is not bad at all. Not bad at all. And there are definitely excellent things about it. There's some really great sequences. I really enjoy the fight sequences are really good.
Yeah. Well,
there's some great action.
Wachowskis, so
exactly
it's
right.
Gonna be, yeah.
But the effects are really great.
Yeah. Well, again, it's the Wachowskis, so.
All right, I just stopped talking. But especially in the kind of final fight with V, when he's it's a bit slowed down, and the knives have got the kind of trail on them, and
they've got the bullet time.
It's bullet time,
but it's
with
knife
knives.
time.
Yeah. Knife time. Why does that sound so much more funny? But yeah, it's really great, and there's some good bloodshed in that scene. It's funny. It's got some really beautiful dialogue in it.
Oh God, yes. There's words in that film that I've never even heard of.
Exactly.
It made me feel dumb. Especially the whole bit where he's doing every word begins with V. Mm-hmm. Like, I was expecting a vivisection at the end.
Oh dear.
But I mean, not a literal visual. Another V.
Wait. Doesn't cut Evie open or.
I mean, it is kind of like, if anybody's seen the episode of Friends where Penn Jillette sells Joey the book. Yeah.
Sells the encyclopedia.
Yeah. Of V.
Yeah.
It's like that was essentially that episode condensed.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So basically, you're comparing V to Joey Tribbiani.
A little bit, but
it's fine. I mean, he wears a mask. Who knows?
Yeah,
it could be
Joey
anyone.
Wears a mask. Oh, right. Oh, okay, yeah, right.
V.
All right.
V could be.
Well, you're saying that it's Matt LeBlanc underneath that?
Absolutely.
Because it's not. It's Hugo Weaving.
It is Hugo Weaving.
Can we talk about Hugo Weaving?
Yes, we can.
Do you want to talk about Hugo Weaving?
Agent Elrond. Priscilla, Queen of the Elves. Yes.
He wasn't the first choice.
Okay.
And he wasn't the first person. There was a James Purfoy. I think Purfoy?
No idea.
Yeah, him. He was V, but he didn't like wearing the mask. So he quit, and they got in Hugo Weaving.
I wonder how he's doing now.
I don't know.
Because everyone's wearing a mask. It was a COVID joke.
Oh, I didn't get that.
Yeah.
I'm
Damn
sorry.
it.
You need to hold up a sign saying laugh. And be like, Freya, you're such a card.
Pass me a marker pen.
Hugo Weaving. He is bloody brilliant in this.
I think he's brilliant in everything, really. I really like him a lot. Despite my throwing shade at him yesterday.
Do you want to just tell everybody what you said?
I said he doesn't come up very often in conversation.
Bit harsh.
Well, it's true.
It is true, but, no need to put it out there on Front Street,
I wasn't trying to throw shade. It was more a lament that I don't get to see, and experience Hugo Weaving acting more.
Well, there's a few people in this you don't get to see act very much.
That's true.
Natalie Portman.
Yes. Is that shade? You throwing shade?
I am a little bit.
The shade of it all.
Natalie Portman. Amazing in a lot of things. Really annoying in a lot of other things.
Like this?
A little bit. I mean, as an English person,
her
accent, it leaves a lot to be desired.
Yes.
It's not terrible, but it also is.
Yes, it's a little bit Eliza Doolittle. It's a bit of an exaggeration.
Yes, very much so. I mean, there's a film called Domino, starring Keira Knightley. And in the trailer she goes, "My name is Domino Harvey." And it's like really kind of put on. I know it's Keira Knightley who's English, but it's really upped the max of the Englishness. She could be saying it with like a cup of tea with a little finger sticking out. You know, Natalie Portman in this, her voice is kind of irritating.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not really just the accent, it's the sort of tone and everything. So, which is a shame because, and again, I don't remember thinking that when I saw it when I was younger. And maybe I was just, not really as bothered by that sort of thing. No. I've got more picky in my old age.
Yeah, I think exactly the same. I mean, I can't remember anybody. I mean, everybody sliced off like Keanu Reeves in like Bram Stoker's Dracula for his English accent, which I seem to remember actually wasn't that bad. Which is really strange.
Well, I can't really think of it in my head, but I don't remember particularly thinking
it's not as bad as everybody makes out. Okay.
I don't think that it's a bad accent. I just think it's a bad voice.
Okay.
The accent is fine. It's just the tone of voice is irritating.
Okay. How do you feel about the haircut? Because I think that's possibly one of the most famous things about this film.
I think it's fabulous. I love it.
She looks great, doesn't she?
Yeah, I'm considering it myself.
Don't.
Because then we'd be matching.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point.
I whilst doing research on this film, I found the most stupidest fact, which was that she isn't actually bald. Because in order to be bald, her hair would need to be used with gel or cream and then a razor blade.
Yeah.
This is just a buzz cut. It's like, all right.
No
thanks, I am DB.
I am DB.
I am DB.
Yeah, it's not really a fact, is it? I mean, it is a fact.
Yeah, it's not trivia. A fact. No. It's crap.
It's a fact.
Yeah.
They're right.
Yeah. Well done. But that's the same as in order to do horse racing, you need a horse.
Yeah.
It's like, well, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, her hair, I thought she looked cool.
She did look cool, yeah.
Do you know who I think was the coolest, though?
Stephen Fry.
It was Stephen Fry.
Yes.
I love Stephen Fry in everything he's ever been in.
Yep.
So even when he's in the airport scene in A Fish Called Wanda.
Yep.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Even there's a film released in like the mid-90s about Albert Einstein and his granddaughter with like Walter Matthau and Meg Ryan and Tim Robbins in it called IQ. And he's in that. That's like his first film. But do you know what the best thing? When he's the presenter of QI. Did you see that? He was in IQ and then he did QI. Did you see that connection?
Yeah.
I was really happy about that.
Good. I'm glad.
I saw IQ and I was like,
That tickled you, didn't it?
It did. But Stephen Fry was the Cheshire Cat in Alice in Wonderland.
Yes.
He was also in The Hobbit.
Yep.
Which I can't remember the name of the characters. I'm sure Jerry from Highly Paranormal was like screaming at me, his name is Derek. I mean, I'm sure that's not his actual name, but Derek. He was also in Sherlock Holmes, where he played Sherlock's brother called Mycroft, in which apparently that means that Robert Downey Jr. and Stephen Fry are related.
Yes.
I cannot see the resemblance there. Oh dear. He was also the narrator in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, a film which I absolutely adore.
Oh yes.
That's a very good film. Blackadder, of course. Wild, you've seen that?
Yes, I have.
How is he in that?
Yeah, he's great.
Good, brilliant.
Yeah.
Another 5-star recommendation from Freya there.
I'm sorry, I'm not feeling very wordy.
Oh, okay. And also he was in Jeeves and Wooster's.
Yes.
Now,
in which he's fantastic.
Okay. Oh, you've got more to say about Jeeves and Wooster's. Go on, tell us about Jeeves and Wooster's, right?
Worcester, not Worcester's.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, it's classic P.G. Wodehouse, stories, and Stephen Fry is a very good Jeeves. I don't know what he's very butlerish, isn't he? He's got that kind of demeanour, and as that as it goes, Hugh Laurie is fantastic as Bertie Wooster, who's kind of a bit of a dim-witted posh person, which I'm not saying Hugh Laurie is, but he plays it very well.
Can I just point out that throughout all of that, the only thing that I can think of is that here you are talking about P.G. Wodehouse and speaking so elegantly about it, and there's me recommending Assassins to you.
That's fine. I'm eclectic.
I need more culture in my life.
That's all right.
Yeah, so...
Listen to Radio 4, darling.
Is that what I have to do? I thought just watching Have I Got News for You and QI would help. But...
I mean, yeah, but then if you really want to stretch the boat out, push the boat out, listen to Radio 4. Anyway.
What would you like to talk about next?
Alan Moore.
No, Matt.
Now let's talk about Alan Moore, because there are a lot of his works that have been adapted for cinema.
Yes.
And I'm not sure that he likes a lot of them.
No. So he's always been a little bit anti-Hollywood, should we say.
Sure.
This isn't just from his negative experience on From Hell, which vastly changed the story. But in fact, if I'm honest, all of the adaptations of Alan Moore's work have been altered by the production. You know, I mean, I'll go into more facts later on, but there's a lot during V for Vendetta. Number one, it's the graphic novel is very rather than the public being given freedom and showing freedom and working towards that, V encourages anarchy.
Yeah.
So it's very different. There's also a lot of problems that happened on League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, where again they changed a lot. It didn't need to happen, you know.
Yeah.
But I will say that I do really like The Watchmen.
Yeah.
Not just TV series, the film. Zack Snyder, I think that's actually his second best film.
Oh.
After the remake of Dawn of the Dead.
Sure.
Which isn't as great as the original, but it is still very, very good.
Sure.
One of the few Hollywood horror remakes, shall we say, that got it kind of right, you know. But yeah, I've just got to interrupt myself and tell you that I used to live in Northampton.
Yes.
Alan Moore comes and resides in Northampton.
Yeah.
Now, I knew Alan Moore.
Uh-huh.
Because he used to come into my pub every so often.
Not the pub you owned, the pub you worked in.
No, not my pub. It wasn't my pub. But he used to come into the pub, and he was a very nice guy.
Yeah,
he used to sit there, read a book. Very nice. Used to walk down the street and see him walk towards me. You couldn't miss him. He's a very big bloke with big bushy hair, wears a purple jacket. He's a bit of a hippie kind of gothy rock guy.
Is he Hagrid?
That's kind of the look that you get. I remember I was walking past him and it was like, oh, you're right, Alan. I was like, you're right, mate. And my mate was like, is that Hagrid? And it was like, no, it's Alan Moore. Who? Alan Moore.
Oh dear.
I don't know who that is. It's like, he created Watchmen. The what? Anyway. I also had the pleasure of, whilst coming down to see you when you lived in South East London.
West. Southwest London.
It's Southwest, yeah, you're right. I had the pleasure of having this train journey with him. Where we chatted for a bit.
That's very cool.
And he was very, very nice.
Nice.
So, I think anything that Alan Moore's ever done is a work of art.
Yeah, he's really brilliant, and it's just a shame that obviously you kind of expect some alterations in in adapting something to cinema. You know, not everything translates, but to have your work altered to the extent that you're just not happy and you take your name off it must be really heartbreaking. Yeah,
I mean, the strange thing is, I mean, it kind of sound like, we're best buds, but he was a very down-to-earth person.
Sure.
He, lived in a very small house, in a very small little part of the town.
Were you stalking him?
No, I just knew where he lived. It was really strange because it was on the bus route that I used to go shopping.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, his work is so, I don't know what the word is. I mean, he does politics really well in this, in the graphic novel of V for Vendetta. He does the superhero idea brilliantly in Watchmen.
Yeah.
And he's just a genius.
He you know, everything that he does is very insightful. It's a real kind of, you know, he is obviously a bit of an anthropologist. He, you know, really